With us today is Warren Cabral. He's the managing partner of Appleby London. Thanks so much for joining us. Appleby is expanding here in Bermuda, the Virgin Islands, Cayman, Jersey, Hong Kong, London, and most recently Mauritius. What has been the main driver of this growth?
Main driver, in fact there are three drivers of equal importance. Our response to our clients, our response to our competitors, and our leadership role. Appleby prides itself on being a very responsive firm. Our clients are international, they're all over the world. They are looking for the jurisdictions where the principal offshore work is done, and they expect us to be there. So we have responded by opening in all those jurisdictions you mentioned, and most recently Mauritius. And that was very much a response to a particular client's request that an international firm of Appleby's standing should be present in that jurisdiction. So we took that on board, we investigated Mauritius and concluded that there was indeed not only a business opportunity for us, but in fact a crying need for international commercial legal skills. So that's why we're there. Likewise, we respond to competitive pressures. Any business, and of course a law firm is also a business in addition to being a professional body. We have to respond to what our competitors are doing. And across the world, you will see other offshore firms, I shan't name them, also popping up and establishing offices. So we watch what they're doing and we say to ourselves, is that a place that we see a client need, that we see a business possibility for us as our own firm, rather than just simply following the Joneses. And we could conceivably end up in other places, but not necessarily. But the competitive pressure to look very much drives our activities. The third aspect, of course, is leadership. Appleby is, in my opinion, and hopefully in the opinion of our clients, a leader in offshore law business, and we look for opportunities as business folk and also as lawyers in places perhaps that other people aren't looking, and for reasons that aren't necessarily going to be other people's reasons, and we seek then to lead our industry.
Going forward, what's your next big objective?
Our next objective will probably be to consolidate that which we've done already. In terms of going to other jurisdictions, we have a number under review, and we have no announcements to make as yet. It's all quite some ways off, but we certainly look at where business is happening in the offshore world all the time. We keep a regular brief.
So how successful is the London office, and what advantage does it offer your clients?
I'm pleased to tell you we've been growing at the rate of about 20% per annum, so I'm very pleased with that. That is entirely due to the efforts of my colleagues that I work with here. We've got 3 and 4 lawyers who cover the entire field of commercial practice, and 15 years experience each between them, which makes over 100 years just in this small office alone. In fact, I was thinking the other day that we cover linguistically, in terms of client service, with 7 people, we cover something like 10 or 15 languages. We've got Polish, we've got Japanese, we've got Portuguese, we've got French, we've got German, we've got Russian. So that is quite an amazing sort of glut of language, if you like. We're polyglots and polyglots, and we are able then to serve the whole of the continental Europe. And so one of the advantages we bring to our clients is proximity to continental Europe, proximity to our instructing law firms, the major city law firms here in London, and our knowledge. We are, just the 3 of us here as lawyers, able to advise on the full range. So in the same time zone as our major clients and our major referrers of business, we're able to give a deep, broad set of legal services and skill sets.
Do you see continued growth for the company in London?
Oh, absolutely. If 20% last year, 20% the year before, if that continues, bearing in mind what's happening in the markets these days, and you can't count your chickens before they hatch, but if that were to continue, then of course we would see continued growth, and we would be looking to recruit more personnel and things of that nature.
From a legal perspective, what are your views on the growth of the Bermuda reinsurance market?
Oddly enough, it's very much a legal issue in some respects. Obviously, as a market, Bermuda responds to capacity needs in the insurance market as a whole. But what makes Bermuda attractive is, oddly, a legal and regulatory climate which is conducive to doing business. So as a law firm, we actually have quite a lot to say about the insurance industry and reinsurance industry in Bermuda, which is to say is our legal regime, our regulatory regime, is positively attractive. You can establish an insurance company or a reinsurance company very quickly. The process for doing so is quite transparent, and the professional assistance that you need in order to do it is available. Certainly at Appleby, we have a very large, very capable insurance team who guide new companies through the registration process. So from a legal perspective, I can tell you that the future, so insofar as it's in the hand of lawyers and people responsive to the legal system, is in very good shape and will continue to grow, because whenever we as participants in the Law Reform Committee or as people advising both the regulators and the clients who shape the market sentiment, we keep the spirit alive of low regulation to the extent possible to be consistent with international standards, but nevertheless not over-regulating the market so as to strangle it. So we keep that tradition alive. We have a historical view of how Bermuda came to be a success by reason of its regulatory and legal environment. And so keeping that historical view in mind, whenever innovation comes up business-wise, we're able to assist in both devising the rules that will enable that, and also whenever there are proposals, perhaps responsive to foreign pressures, to introduce what might be thought to be unnecessary levels of regulation, we're able to say, well, just a minute, to remember how we got to where we are. So whilst we're always consistent with international standards, we are skeptical of over-regulation for its own sake. And that legal outlook has been very beneficial to Bermuda in keeping us as a competitive and attractive jurisdiction.
Do you think Bermuda could come under threat from other markets such as Dubai, the Cayman Islands, or Jersey?
I am a market capitalist of the old-fashioned sort, and I actually believe that the markets and competition are very good things. So the bigger the market, the more active the market, the more competition there is in the market, the better it is for everybody. Individual players may not necessarily thrive, but the market as a whole does well. Bermuda is a market. Bermuda has grown and blossomed by reason of its ability to respond to capacity needs in insurance generally, and to the pressures from onshore jurisdictions which can't react quickly enough, whereas Bermuda can. If places like Dubai or Cayman set up themselves as insurance markets, that simply creates a bigger pie, if you will, of offshore capacity. It therefore makes it difficult for the onshore jurisdictions to resist, because the more work that goes offshore, the less easy it is for onshore competitors to say, well, that's a small phony market, let's ignore it, let's regulate it out of existence. So it's a good thing to have a big offshore market, as between the three of us, Bermuda, Cayman, and Dubai, and indeed there are other people as well who are trying to be in the insurance business, Guernsey, Isle of Man. All of them will benefit from a vibrant, active market. Now, I am certain in my mind that Bermuda will be able to compete for many, many, many years to come. We have a depth of expertise which is unrivaled at the moment. It will be very difficult for other jurisdictions to build up that same depth, but not impossible. Dubai has money coming out the walls, or whatever the expression might be, in terms of having lots and lots and lots of money. And they can build by paying for the infrastructure. We built it in Bermuda by being a regulatory environment that was attractive so that people voluntarily came. They didn't come because we wrote them big checks. They perceived the opportunity to earn money there. Dubai, of course, can simply build the infrastructure just by writing a check. Whether it'll get the best people, I don't know. I've been out to Dubai. It's not necessarily somewhere I would like to live, but lots of people like it there and may well go there. So you can't say, but what is certain is they'll be able to work very quickly to build a certain level of infrastructure just simply by writing a check. And their client base will be different as well. From the North American client base for Bermuda, they will be looking to Middle Eastern and Asian clients perhaps. Likewise, Cayman is doing a niche business at the moment in reinsurance sidecars. But let's not forget that Cayman started off in niche businesses with funds and now is the market leader. So, one can never just be complacent and rest on one's laurels. There will always be people behind you who will catch up with you if you don't watch out. And certainly Cayman's more than capable of doing that. But as I say, I think that's a good thing. And certainly from my firm's perspective, we have a large operation in Cayman and we're ready to assist there if needs be. And so, we try to balance our interests. But in terms of Bermuda, we are very confident that the market will continue to do well. It may not be necessarily the leader by a huge margin as it always was, but it will certainly be a leader for many, many years to come.
Thanks, Warren. That was Warren Cabral, Managing Partner of Appleby here in London. For the Business Channel, I'm Patrick Singleton. Stay tuned to this station. We've got a lot more still to come.